100 quotes for overcoming adversity. Find strength and motivation in the words of those who have faced and conquered significant challenges. Gain perspective on dealing with life's difficulties.
The greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. Molière. Adversity is the diamond dust heaven polishes its jewels with. Thomas Carlyle. The strongest trees are rooted in the dark places of the earth. Rumi. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Seneca. The oak fought the wind and was broken. The willow bent when it must and survived. Robert Jordan. In times of great stress or adversity, it's always best to keep busy, to plow your anger and your energy into something positive. Lee Iacocca. The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. Chinese proverb. Adversity causes some men to break, others to break records. William Arthur Ward. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. C.S. Lewis. The world breaks everyone, and afterward, some are strong at the broken places. Ernest Hemingway. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. Vince Lombardi. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Martin Luther King, Jr. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. Henry Ford. I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. Maya Angelou. The difference between stumbling blocks and stepping stones is how you use them. Unknown. Adversity is like a strong wind. It tears away from us all but the things that cannot be torn, so that we see ourselves as we really are. Arthur Golden. The most beautiful people we have known are those who have known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. J.K. Rowling. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. Mary Ann Radmacher. The human capacity for burden is like bamboo, far more flexible than you'd ever believe at first glance. Jodi Picoult. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. Franklin D. Roosevelt. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. Maya Angelou. It is your reaction to adversity, not the adversity itself, that determines how your life story will develop. Dieter F. Uchtdorf. The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Khalil Gibran. Adversity is the first path to truth. Lord Byron. The only way to get through life is to laugh your way through it. You either have to laugh or cry. I prefer to laugh. Crying gives me a headache. Marjorie Pay Hinckley. Tough times never last, but tough people do. Robert H. Schuller. If you're going through hell, keep going. Winston Churchill. The obstacle is the way. Marcus Aurelius. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Albert Einstein. We must embrace pain and burn it as fuel for our journey. Kenji Miyazawa. The brick walls are there for a reason. They're not there to keep us out. The brick walls are there to give us a chance to show how badly we want something. Randy Pausch. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. Helen Keller. Adversity has the effect of eliciting talents which in prosperous circumstances would have lain dormant. Horace. The pain you feel today is the strength you feel tomorrow. Unknown. Life's challenges are not supposed to paralyze you. They're supposed to help you discover who you are. Bernice Johnson Reagan. The probability that we may fail in the struggle ought not to deter us from the support of a cause we believe to be just. Abraham Lincoln. Sometimes adversity is what you need to face in order to become successful. Zig Ziglar. Adversity introduces a man to himself. Albert Einstein. The only way out is through. Robert Frost. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Napoleon Hill. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. Persistence and resilience only come from having been given the chance to work through difficult problems. Gay Tully. The darkest night is often the bridge to the brightest tomorrow. Jonathan Lockwood Hoy. Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. Steve Maraboli. Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. Arnold Schwarzenegger. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. Bob Marley. The most beautiful people I've known are those who have known trials, have known struggles, have known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Adversity is the state in which man most easily becomes acquainted with himself, being especially free of admirers then. John Wooden. The greatest test of courage on earth is to bear defeat without losing heart. Robert Greene Ingersoll. When we least expect it, life sets us a challenge to test our courage and willingness to change. Paulo Coelho. It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. Edmund Hillary. The harder you fall, the higher you bounce. Unknown. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Henry Ford. Adversity makes men, and prosperity makes monsters. Victor Hugo. The broken heart. You think you will die, but you keep living, day after day after terrible day. Charles Dickens. It is hard to fail, but it is worse never to have tried to succeed. Theodore Roosevelt. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Oprah Winfrey. Sometimes you don't realize your own strength until you come face to face with your greatest weakness. Susan Gale. A hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. Christopher Reeve. The problem is not the problem is your attitude about the problem. Captain Jack Sparrow. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Nelson Mandela. The strongest people are not those who show strength in front of us, but those who win battles we know nothing about. Unknown. Adversity is preparation for greatness. Andy Andrews. Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. Khalil Gibran. There is no education like adversity. Benjamin Disraeli. He who believes is strong, he who doubts is weak. Strong convictions precede great actions. Louisa May Alcott. Adversity is the mother of progress. Mahatma Gandhi. The only thing that overcomes hard luck is hard work. Harry Golden. A problem is a chance for you to do your best. Duke Ellington. The fire that warms us can also consume us. It is not the fault of the fire. Swami Vivekananda. Adversity has ever been considered the state in which a man most easily becomes acquainted with himself. Samuel Johnson. Difficulties are meant to rouse, not discourage. The human spirit is to grow strong by conflict. William Ellery Channing. Storms make trees take deeper roots. Dolly Parton. The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. Thomas Paine. When adversity strikes, that's when you have to be the most calm. Take a step back, stay strong, stay grounded, and press on. LL Cool J. The best way out is always through. Robert Frost. Adversity is sometimes hard upon a man, but for one man who can stand prosperity, there are 100 that will stand adversity. Elvis Presley. Kites rise highest against the wind, not with it. Winston Churchill. All the adversity I've had in my life, all my troubles and obstacles have strengthened me. Walt Disney. There is no better than adversity. Every defeat, every heartbreak, every loss contains its own seed, its own lesson on how to improve your performance next time. Malcolm X. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. Robert Frost. Adversity is like a strong wind. I don't mean just that it holds us back from places we might otherwise go. It also tears away from us all but the things that cannot be torn, so that afterward we see ourselves as we really are. Arthur Golden. Anyone can give up. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. But to hold it together when everyone else would understand if you fell apart, that's true strength. Unknown. We don't develop courage by being happy every day. We develop it by surviving difficult times and challenging adversity. Barbara DeAngelis. The bravest sight in the world is to see a great man struggling against adversity. Seneca. Adversity is the first path to truth. Lord Byron. Life is not about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. Vivian Green. Adversity causes some men to break, others to break records. William Arthur Ward. The trials you encounter will introduce you to your strengths. Epictetus. There's nothing that cleanses your soul like getting the hell kicked out of you. Woody Hayes. Adversity is like a strong wind. It tears away from us all but the things that cannot be torn, so that afterward we see ourselves as we really are. Arthur Golden. Show me someone who has done something worthwhile, and I'll show you someone who has overcome adversity. Lou Holtz. The courage of life is often a less dramatic spectacle than the courage of a final moment, but it is no less a magnificent mixture of triumph and tragedy. John F. Kennedy. The finest steel has to go through the hottest fire. Richard M. Nixon. Prosperity makes friends, adversity tries them. Publilius Cyrus. Adversity has the same effect on a man that severe training has on the pugilist. It reduces him to his fighting weight. Josh Billings. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Which of these quotes is your favourite? Let us know in the comments below. By the way, some of the quotes are very similar or even duplicates. Did you recognise any?